Hi guys, morning. I got my coffee. I'm still a bit frazzled actually. I'm not really awake. I forgot to put my necklace on. My TLC necklace is upstairs, in a special place. Got the box for it. Um, da, da, da. So, um, I'm trying to make a few just normal videos in the mornings before I go live. This was sent to me by Lorraine, Mary Patricia. I found it interesting because it's not that often I get sent things that show a YouTube channel that goes out of their way to defend Elvis. Yeah. So it got my attention. I have watched this person before. She seems like a genuine fan. She seems very lovely. Her channel seems very interesting. You can tell that she has really been touched by Elvis, really sort of transformed. It's really affected her life. She's a genuine fan. I don't know that much about Mary Patricia, but I hope she doesn't mind me reviewing what she's doing. The bottom line is she's an Elvis defender. So I have a lot of respect for people that stand up for Elvis, that try and show the world a different Elvis. Right, shh, shh, shh. Sorry, my kids are in the background. I have a lot of respect for people that want to just say to the world, look, do you know what? Elvis has been unfairly treated. Yes, Elvis has been unfairly treated. Yeah, and unfairly portrayed. Ginger Alden's one of them, at least recently, that has been going around doing her shows. So I just thought, oh, come on, let's give her a shout out. She might say it's none of your business, but I just think, come on, she wants to show the world the true Elvis. It's got to be a good thing. So let's listen to Mary Patricia. And just she's obviously has a project coming up. I think this might be a few months old, this video. Let's hear what she has to say. So please, guys, subscribe to the lady. She's an Elvis defender. What more can I say?
Friends, welcome back to a brand new episode of Let's Talk Elvis. So a few days. Hello, Elvis friends. Welcome back. Hello, Elvis friends. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Let's Talk Elvis. So a few days ago, I posted a trailer for an upcoming series that I have been working on for a really long time, that I'm really excited to start sharing with you guys. And I figured that instead of including this part of it in the first episode, I would just make it its own little video. So super short, super quick, just explaining what this series will be and why I decided to make it and feature it on my channel.
So a very young lady, yeah. I love it when we have the new up-and-coming generations of fans coming through, but even more when they want to defend Elvis. I love that.
I want to keep the episodes just tailored to their specific topic, so I figured that explaining and bringing this out first would be the best option. Basically, in a nutshell, this series is going to be shining light on each individual health concern that Elvis had, notably.
So even that, very interesting. Obviously, we have been reading these books, mainly this one. Yeah. Now, Dr. Forrest Tennant, The Strange Medical Saga of Elvis Presley. This book is fascinating. We've been sort of going through it together, haven't we, guys? Fascinating. A slightly different take on things than this book. Obviously, Sally Hoddle has her version of why she thinks this is the problems that Elvis had. Obviously, a lot of research has gone into the book. I can tell that this lady is a big fan of Sally Hoddle. I tend to more go for this book. I think this book is nearer the truth, just an opinion as a fan. And there is a video on Presley Mania, a researcher called Amy Collett, who does have a medical background, that has read both books and compares the two. She gives her view on Dr. Forrest Tennant's theories. Many of Dr. Forrest Tennant's theories are around the TBI, so the traumatic brain injury. Elvis had a lot of hits to the head for different reasons. Yeah. And that's the basis, I would say, of this book. This book also discusses all the hospital admissions that Elvis had when he was very unwell, and many, many other things. Yeah. Very interesting. Quite an easy read. Fascinating. Very upsetting to read, but an honest an honest view of Elvis's medical history, health issues, the good and the bad. Yeah. So this one really does take quite an extreme view. I'm not convinced with many of the theories that Sally Hoddle has, but it still defends Elvis. This book does defend Elvis. I think to really understand what these people are saying, you've got to read both books. That's what I think. But anyway, this young lady wants to show the world that Elvis isn't the how can I say it, the junkie that he's portrayed as. It's very unfair that people speak so horribly of Elvis. This young lady wants the world to understand the true Elvis and to understand why he was unwell. Yeah. So I think it's a good thing, guys. It's got to be good. Anyone defending Elvis has to be a good thing.
Each episode to be specific and tailored only to one of those health concerns. So, like one episode will be featuring like his glaucoma, while another episode will be really talking about the bloating and everything that went into that. There will be multiple episodes because he did have multiple health concerns, but I wanted to give each one its own episode. So hopefully it's a little bit more digestible and easier to understand, and also easier to share with other people, because I think that that's really what I want with this series. A lot of you know, because I talk about it so openly, that Destined to Die Young is my favorite Elvis book for many reasons, but ultimately I think because it just provides a logical view and understanding to a lot.
So, I want to, please, Mary, please take this with respect. I love the fact this book defends Elvis, but there are people that have looked into the things in this book that would disagree. Yeah. So, I mean, Sally Hoddle has some strong views on Elvis fans and opinions that me and her have disagreed on a few things. But I also completely have to give her, Sally Hoddle, respect. The thousands of hours of research that went into this book, all the hard work that went into creating this book. This book does defend Elvis. Yeah. So my views on Sally are mixed. My views on the book are mixed. I'm not against the book. I'm not a big fan of the title. Do I think Elvis was destined to die young? No, I don't. But I also understand he had very extreme medical health problems, chronic health problems, that he may have genetically inherited. Obviously his grandparents were first cousins, things like that. His parents were unwell. Gladys wasn't well, was she? Vernon wasn't well. So I have mixed views. I know that Sally has a specific thought process on why Elvis became so unwell. Obviously, she says he was unwell from a very young age, and she's proved it. She's used a lot of other people's research. She's done a lot of her own research. So it's got to be a good thing defending Elvis, isn't it? This book does defend Elvis. So between the two, I think you will get an idea nearer to the truth if between the two books. Presley Mania and Amy Collett. So Rhonda at Presley Mania, the YouTube channel, has done a discussion comparing the two books. You may want to watch that. So I think people should decide for themselves whether they believe Sally Hoddle's theories or Dr. Forrest Tennant's theories. As far as I know, Dr. Forrest Tennant was involved in the trial with Dr. Nick concerning the death of Elvis. And this is why he has all this medical information, all these medical records at hand. A very smart man. And again, someone who's trying to help us understand that Elvis actually was a sick man. Now, we do also accept that his prescription medication also caused many problems as well. May have brought on more illnesses as well. So it's a complicated story. But you get the idea. But what are we really trying to do here? We're trying to show the world that Elvis shouldn't be just judged on the fact that he took prescription medication, and that he had a serious chronic health problems. There's so much more to Elvis than trying to portray him in a horrible, bad light, in a very unfair light to the world. And I think his portrayal around the world, especially with non-fans, actually, is so wrong. It's so wrong. He doesn't deserve it. Elvis deserves better. So let's keep going, guys.
Of Elvis's choices and lifestyle habits and, you know, just the way that he lived and how that played into a lot of different areas of his life. After reading that book, I started seeing those little puzzle pieces becoming apparent in different, you know, pictures I would see or video footage that I would see or watch, you know, movie clips that I'd be like, oh, like that's what that was talking about when he looked like this or when he was acting like this, or, you know, different things like that. That's one of the big things I want to do with this series, because while this information is not new and it has been researched and laid out in book format, I also want to bring out evidence and picture evidence, video evidence, you know, talk about how you can see this visibly in different areas of Elvis's life. I think that that'll help kind of point out different ailments that he had too, and also take away a lot of misunderstanding of like, Elvis wasn't fat because he ate too much, like he was bloated, and here you can see it here during this, you know, if that makes any sense. Why?
See, I love this. She's analysing, you know, the myth of Elvis was just binge on food, and then she sort of talks about how he looked, you know, his size, different parts of his body, like his tummy, his puffy face, puffy hands, things like that. She's trying to understand it. She's going through the different movie clips, so, you know, it could be concerts, many things. Trying to understand the different phases that Elvis went through his life, with his ups and downs, with medical problems, with health problems.
While I did get a lot of information and spent a lot of time researching through Destined to Die Young, I want you to know that not all the information comes from this book. So if you've already read, you know, this book and you're like, well, I don't need to watch this series because I've already read the book, I want you to know that I put in research and I use different sources, and hopefully I took the time. I've literally been working on this video series for 3 years.
So I like that. There's she's done her own research. She's looked at other people's information. I do think we need a rounded view of Elvis's health. I do think that. You know, I worry if people take this book as gospel, because this is Sally Hoddle's version of things, her theory. Yeah. Now, obviously, she's used a lot of other people's research. In fact, the back of this book is full of her giving credit to thousands of other people's research, thousands. Yeah. So this isn't all of Sally Hoddle's information. In fact, a lot of it isn't. Yeah. But I think Sally Hoddle did go to Tupelo. She did speak to the Smiths and did a lot of research as well. It's an interesting read, guys. It's a good read. But you need to read between the lines and decide for yourself which parts of it you feel are correct or not correct. Don't put Sally Hoddle on a pedestal. She doesn't get things right all the time. In fact, many of her views I disagree with. Even with Dr. Forrest Tennant, you know, it is his take on things. Even though I do tend to lean towards this book does seem nearer to the truth. Yeah, just an opinion, man. Just an opinion. So I'm not an expert. I have no medical background. I'm just a fan. Just like this lady, we are Mary. We are just fans. We're just fans, looking in from the outside, giving our points of view. In fact, I welcome you guys to leave in the comments your views on Elvis's problem with his weight, with his medical history, with his problem with prescription medication, good and bad. So we get a rounded view. Okay, guys, let's keep going.
3 years, because I wanted to make sure that I was the most credible I could be, and that means, you know, pulling from more than just one source. But I wanted to share that Destined to Die Young was my biggest inspiration and biggest motivator for the series, because after reading this book, it just cleared up so many questions and, you know, provided so much insight to things that I think Elvis gets the back burner on a lot of the times, and things that people don't understand about him that they pass off to just be something else when it actually is something way more serious and not as black and white as people would begin to believe. Understanding Elvis's health and understanding, his body plays into every other aspect of his life, every choice that he made, every, appearance, the way that he looked, the way that he acted, the way that he treated people. Sometimes it's crazy how that played into everything, but it's also human nature, because I know that my health and the way that I feel as a human plays into everything and how I act in my life as well. So it is just human nature, but I feel like Elvis, again, always kind of gets that stripped away, and misinformation or sensationalism takes its place as we...
Great words. Misinformation, sensationalism. Guys, come on. I could hold up a few books, couldn't I? Some books that are quite upsetting, that have really trashed Elvis, from all angles, not just coming from the ex-wife, but also people that were around Elvis his whole life, people that were around Elvis till the day he died, family, friends, Memphis Mafia, and many others. So for money, many people used Elvis's name and the fact that they were close to him and knew him well, married to him, worked for him, for money, just to get what they could at the time. I know that was probably quite the norm in the 70s and the 80s. But for me, as an Elvis fan, I'm horrified by it. I'm horrified that people so close to Elvis used his name, their friendship, betrayed his trust for money, made him look bad for money, that the world's view of Elvis has been completely warped by the people around him for money, and it's still happening every day now, isn't it, guys? It's different now. It's taken on a new meaning. Trashing Elvis now has taken on a new meaning, because now you're seeing it everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, X. You're seeing it everywhere. It's all twisted versions. And now with artificial intelligence, it's got even worse. And there does seem to be a lot of support for Priscilla's version of events. Because I personally feel that Priscilla has reinvented history, rewritten history to suit herself. And the person who is the victim of all that is Elvis. Elvis is the one that can't stand up for himself, that just has to take it. So people like Mary, people like me, and there's obviously Rhonda at Presley Mania, and there's a few others, obviously Joe at Rare Elvis Photos. We stand up proudly and try and defend. We defend Elvis with pride. No matter what backlash we get, we are steadfast and we just get on and do it. It's got to the point now where I expect there to be backlash when I defend Elvis, which is a shame. It's a real shame that it's like that. I love it when I discover new Elvis defenders like Mary. It's great.
We failed to understand that there was actually real stuff going on, and it's not just too many hamburgers or too much pills. I think
Thank you. Well said.
Providing, this information in a video format is going to be very, very helpful, because while I know that this book, Destined to Die Young, which is my favorite book about Elvis's health, is very detailed and very credible and a great resource already.
Right. Okay, Mary. So I just want to say, the more research done on this topic, because I love the topic you're trying to cover, because you're trying to help Elvis, the better. I wouldn't lean too much towards Sally's book. I would try and get, as you said earlier in this video, I would try and get a more rounded view, and I'm trying to be polite and respectful, but there's many things in Sally's book I just don't agree with. So anyway, guys, the more we learn, the more research we do, the better.
Some people don't like to read, or some people, don't digest information as easily if it's in a book format. Sometimes, I've been told a lot that books are kind of, especially books like that, seem to be very daunting, and people...
Oh, that's so true. I'm daunted by every book. I hate reading, but I do read. I'm sort of forced to read things. I've been forced to read many parts of this book. I'm not going to lie, it can be very, very boring. Now, fortunately, I have found this book fascinating. I'm really enjoyed reading a lot of this book. I'm still working my way through it. I was reading it this morning for about 3 hours. This is an easy read. Yeah, it's upsetting. It makes you want to cry. It's gutting. It's heartbreaking, but it's quite an easy book to read. I find this book a bit of a struggle, very, very long-winded, very, very long chapters that sometimes you just want it to get to the point. Yeah. But I also think I have to be fair. I also think this book really does defend Elvis. So, I'm grateful for that to Sally Hoddle, that she defends Elvis. Yeah. I obviously, guys, I don't like the title. I don't like the title, even though it's a very catchy title, and that title will sell books. I'm not mad about the title. Yeah. Let's keep going, guys.
I can't really get through that. Of course, not everybody. A lot of people have read this book and other books on Elvis's health and loved them and learned very much from them, myself included. But I've heard from a lot of people, especially younger people, that it's just like, becoming a new fan or something like that. Books like this seem to be very, very daunting. And they would reach, more for the books, about his love interests or just like more mellow books, which I totally understand. So I'm hoping.
So I want to comment on that. I was thinking about this earlier. Yeah. The bottom line is the majority of fans, they're not interested in all the sort of negative type stuff. They just want to listen to the music, watch his movies, read all the love stories, see all the beautiful stuff, the cute interviews. Many other things are just lovely. Yeah. The reason we love Elvis. Jasmine, turn it down, please. The reason we love Elvis. Yeah. But someone's got to deal with these issues to defend Elvis, because he can't defend himself and he deserves it. So unfortunately, people like me, obviously Mary, and the other people I've mentioned, we're going to take on these topics to try and help the world at least get some kind of glimpse of the true Elvis, the true man, the beautiful man that he was, not just in looks, inside and out, a man with a golden heart. So a man that did so much good, a man that transformed the world. But not just that, a man that was a good Christian man that really did everything he possibly could to help everyone around him, including strangers. So Elvis really did want to make a difference to the world. He really wanted to do good. He felt that he had been given this gift from God to make a difference. He felt he had purpose. So we need more of that out in the world, less of the topic of his eating, his problems with prescription medication, and all the negative stuff that has been twisted and exaggerated. Elvis is just so badly portrayed. So like when I listen to Ginger Alden defending Elvis, I love it. Mindy Miller defending Elvis, I love it. We need more of that. That is why people like this stand out to me on YouTube.
That putting this information in video format will kind of help. You can have it on in the background, maybe while you're doing something else, or while you're driving to work, or whatever the case may be. I'm hoping that this is a digestible format. Again, I just want to put it out there that the people who have already researched this information have done so in amazing, incredible ways that I look up to very much. And that is the reason, one of the big reasons that I'm making this series, because I have been inspired by those people to talk about this. I also do feel like this topic in Elvis's story is just what I'm most passionate about. His health and those struggles that came along with that, and how he persevered in spite of it, is actually something.
I love that. How he persevered in spite of it. That's one of my favorite things that Mary has said in this whole short video. Elvis, no matter what, and we know this, even the last few concerts, Elvis fought through it and did the best he could, gave the best performance he could. His voice still very beautiful. The fans still 100% there for him. But it's clearly evident he was unwell, isn't it? Come on, we can't get away from the fact. But let's at least let the fans understand why he had become so unwell. Yeah, there's much more to it than him just taking drugs, eating too much. So let's keep going, guys.
That just blows my mind every day, and it's something that I'm very passionate about talking about, especially on my channel. So I'm hoping that it becomes something that you guys are interested in too, if you're not already. I just, at the end of the day, to wrap this up, think that this is one of the most important topics surrounding Elvis's life, and something that people, especially people who are not fans, don't.
I love that. Especially people that are not fans. These are the people that we're trying to appeal to, because the genuine, real fans of Elvis, they all know that everything is so unfair to Elvis, that he has been portrayed very, how can I say it, unfairly. That's the bottom word, isn't it? There's tens of thousands of us that know that Elvis can't defend himself, and the things that are said about him are just so cruel and not true. Really twisted. The reality of the truth has been completely warped. So, and it's the non-fans that we want to make them see the truth, see the true man, the true Elvis Presley, the lovely, beautiful human being that he was inside and out in so many ways. Yeah. So, obviously, the fans will always be there for Elvis. They always defend him. I think the fans have been defending Elvis for 40 years. It's now that we have the internet and we have social media that we can come together and try and make a difference by arguing for Elvis, by defending Elvis, by disagreeing with the thousands of lies that have been said about Elvis. So that's our job, guys. Defending Elvis.
Understand and are way too comfortable talking about anyways. I'm hoping that this can aid to that movement that's already going on, that is, you know, putting a spotlight on these topics about Elvis Presley and about his health and about that area of his life.
I love that, putting a spotlight on these topics of that area of his life. This is what we do at Defending Elvis. We do it every day. We're doing 2-3 live streams a day, just for that reason, to put a spotlight on the lies and expose them and then disagree with them. And then we will stand our corner until we are heard.
Because I think it is so important, and without proper understanding of...
Get that, guys? Without proper understanding. So important.
This, and just Elvis as a human being in general, we really cannot understand him in his fullness at all. And I know that is...
We really cannot understand him in his fullness at all. Yes, this lady, Mary, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. This is the message that we're really trying to send here. Unfortunately, we have had such a backlash of people almost demanding that we don't defend. Yeah. Even Sally Hoddle. Yeah. I know that you admire her and you love her book. But if you listen to her video on her YouTube channel, that basically says not to be negative, not to discuss the negative things in Elvis's life concerning his health, concerning the Memphis Mafia, concerning Priscilla, concerning Dr. Nick, Colonel Tom Parker. Well, unfortunately, we have to discuss these things to defend Elvis. So this is where me and Sally Hoddle disagree. To discuss Elvis, we have to bring up the negative stuff. The Elvis fans around the world want us to bring up the things so that we can defend them, because Elvis can't defend himself. Poor Elvis can't jump up and say that isn't true. So we do it as fans, not as researchers, not as Elvis experts, just as fans. So I did try and read some of Sally Hoddle's book on YouTube, but she didn't like it. So it's very difficult, you know. I would like to find a middle ground with Sally Hoddle, because I don't dislike her. I just think sometimes her opinions are very biased to herself. So she has her view on everything, including the book, including her view on how Elvis fans should be. I think one of the videos she said was that it's not possible to die from a broken heart. I obviously disagree with that. So mistakes have been made when concerning Sally Hoddle. But I still would like to understand Sally Hoddle and her book, and see her as an Elvis defender because she wrote that book, thousands of hours, the guts and the courage to write a book, obviously the effort in all the research that went into the writing of the book. So I really do praise Sally Hoddle for creating this book because it does defend Elvis. So I'm not against the book, but I want to get a sort of very broad opinion of the book in how it relates to other information out there concerning Elvis's health, his chronic health, how he, his eating habits, his prescription medication habits. Let's learn as much of it as we can, rather than go, right, this is truth, this is correct, because I don't think it is. I think we're all trying to get to the truth. We're all trying to understand the truth as fairly as we can. So that's it, really.
A goal of so many of my friends in the community is to understand him and just to get to know him in the truest way that we can. And I think that this information really, really helps.
In the truest way that we can. That is my point of what I've just said. Yeah. And we can't get to the truest form as we can if we're told we shouldn't bring up negative things concerning Elvis because it harms the Elvis community, it harms Elvis's reputation, it harms his image, which is basically what Sally Hoddle said to us. Yeah. So, no, we're going to bring up these things. We don't have a choice because we want to defend Elvis because he can't defend himself.
Helps to be able to do that. That is my little spiel about why I'm doing this series. I'm looking forward to it so much. I am very honored to have been inspired and motivated and, just honestly touched by these people who have put in so much research and effort into uncovering information like this.
So I have to acknowledge that, guys. Anyone that has done thousands of hours of research in the name of defending Elvis, you have to praise that. You have to thank these people, including Sally Hoddle, including Dr. Forrest Tennant and other people, including Elvis fans, Elvis researchers. We have researchers that do a lot of work for us, for free, for love. Amy Collett is a great example. Please check out Amy Collett's show she did with Presley Mania, Rhonda, because she also has reviewed both these books. Presley Mania, Rhonda, please subscribe to her. So I'm going to go, guys. I'll just let this play out. But I hope Mary likes this video. Mary, we love what you're doing. You're defending Elvis. Thank you so much. I think you have a great channel. Please subscribe to Mary Patricia on YouTube. I think she's on Instagram as well, and Facebook. So thanks very much.
And making it possible for me to learn about it myself and then share it with my, people who watch my videos. Honestly, it's just a trickle effect. And I just want you guys to know that I'm very passionate about it, and I hope that you guys will be interested in it as well. I think Elvis really deserves that. I'm very excited.
I love that. Elvis deserves that. So you may not know this. We have a saying on defending Elvis. Elvis deserves better. Elvis deserves better. That is our motto. Elvis deserves better. So I love that you've just thrown that in there.
Excited to get this new series going, and the first episode will be coming out soon. I'm looking forward to it a lot. So I will talk to you guys when that video comes out. Happy Elvis.
So I don't know if the first one came out. I don't know. I don't know the backstory of this young lady. Let me just see. So it says on here, let me just look. We can see that she has Instagram. Is it called My Boy, My Boy? We know that Elvis loves saying that. There is a podcast on there on Apple. It looks like she's put a link to Sally Hoddle's book. My Elvis. All right, so if you want to click on her Instagram, it's all there on her on her YouTube channel. Should we just quickly? So Mary Patricia, thank you that we've used this. I did let Mary know I messaged her directly, and I messaged her on her YouTube channel. Let me just see. So yeah, she says, yes, it's a podcast, it's Instagram, but she is on Facebook as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, she is. So let's just quickly look at her videos, just give her a bit of a quick promotion. I know that she hasn't asked me to promote her, but come on, she's an Elvis defender. So you got Elvis's health discussions here, the health discussions. I'm going to listen to some of these. I have listened to a few of them. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff here, guys. Yeah. A lot of it is titled Let's Talk Elvis. I personally think this is great. She's obviously a true fan, obviously. There's one here. I think by the sounds of it, did she say she's been to Elvis Week 5 times? So I'm guessing if I go back, there'll be many, many different topics that basically shows she loves Elvis, defends Elvis, wants the world to love Elvis and see the true Elvis. So brilliant, guys. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna watch more of her footage. So my next live stream, we are going to carry on our discussion with this book. I just want to read the introduction, the prologue, just to get a better feel for the book. But we will be going over to a new topic eventually as well. So thanks, guys. I'm going to post this as a live premiere. So not only can you watch this video, you can also comment on it together with me live as well. So I'm going to post it now on our YouTube channel, Defending Elvis Presley. So thanks, guys. Thank you for watching this. If you watch this like through the night and all that, thank you so much.